She was a total icon in a huge movie franchise, and her death caused her co-star to make the decision not to return to act in future films. Friends, do you know who I'm talking about? Well, we'll be discussing that and more.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
When a major celebrity or a star passes away, fans and viewers grieve even though they didn't personally know them, but they love the art that the person brought to life. Well, just think about their co-stars, the people who actually worked with them to make those projects happen. Some of them never quite recover, and we'll be talking about a few examples today.
Just to have to lose Carrie was just I can't watch that scene.
Before we dive in and discuss, go ahead and click subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on our future videos. And give this video a thumbs up if one of your favorite films or shows lost one of their own. Let's get to it. John Ritter became unbelievably popular for his role as Jack in Three's Company, and went on to play other hilarious roles later on in his career. He played Kaylee Cuoco's dad in 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, and you can only imagine that Ritter, as the protective father over his beautiful teenage daughter, prompted some chaotic moments and laughable situations.
Cupcake, I think you missed the word under in underwear because I can see your bra and that slingshot you're wearing under your pants.
Well, Ritter suddenly died in 2003 of heart complications, and although he wasn't Kaylee Cuoco's real dad, his death hit hard. When the show continued without Ritter, they paid him tribute in an episode that definitely made me cry, and Cuoco says she still thinks about him from time to time, considering he was definitely a father figure to her. In 2018, during an interview, she talked with tears in her eyes about her hilarious memories with him, and despite her success on The Big Bang Theory, she has never forgotten how John Ritter made a significant impact in her life. Beverly Hills 90210 and Riverdale star Luke Perry died suddenly of a stroke, and the news of his death shook fans across the nation as well as fellow actors who had worked with him. Shannon Doherty took the news particularly hard, considering the two worked closely on Beverly Hills 90210 and played each other's significant others on the show. The two had remained good friends and had supported each other throughout life's ups and downs, namely when Doherty was fighting cancer. So naturally, the news of his death devastated her. When Beverly Hills 90210 was gathering the actors for a reboot, Doherty originally wasn't going to do the show, thinking that they didn't really need her. But after Perry's death, she knew she had to pay homage to her longtime friend and co-star, and ended up taking part in the reboot, which she said was the perfect way to honor him.
It was honoring him and his memory.
Dove Cameron really hasn't fully recovered from the loss of her friend and co-star Cameron Boyce, who died suddenly of a seizure and an overarching complicated illness. He died at just 20 years old, but had made a significant impact in the Disney world, especially with his fun and energetic characters. Well, when the news of his passing reached his fellow descendant co-stars, Dove Cameron took it particularly hard, saying that the death of Boyce reminded her just how precious life is.
It really reminds you how important everybody is, how important your one life is.
She even got a tattoo of a flower coming out of a gun to signify peace and paying homage to the volunteer and nonprofit work Cameron did to make the world a better place before he died. She said he was everything people said he was, as people often described him as not of this world, as just an incredible and peaceful human being. Gone too soon, definitely. Friends, how did you react to the passing of Cameron Boyce, and what do you think of Dove Cameron's sweet tribute to her co-star? Definitely let us know in the comments. Carrie Fisher was an absolute icon, and as we said at the beginning, she played a very significant role in a very significant movie franchise. Star Wars, of course. In 2015, when The Force Awakens was set to bring back the franchise, fans were absolutely elated to see their favorite actors returning to their same roles to bring the stories to their screens once again. Well, Mark Hamill was shattered when he received the news of Carrie Fisher's death at the end of 2016. Her death completely changed Hamill's perspective of the Star Wars films in general, and without her friendship and presence on set, it made him really not want to return to keep filming.
I'm sorry.
In an interview in 2018, he spoke about Fisher's death, saying he was sorry he didn't have more time with her, but grateful for the time he did have and was able to spend with her. Well, Fisher and Hamill did appear in The Rise of Skywalker. Fisher's footage was taken from archives. And that was a fitting end to a very long and very successful series of stories about the Skywalkers. Lea Michele and Corey Monteith were co-stars and played each other's love interest in Glee. The two were very close in real life and even in a relationship before Monteith tragically passed away from addiction he had been struggling with for years, back in 2013. Lea Michele knew that Monteith would have wanted her to continue with her acting endeavors, even though she said it was painful to do so without him, especially because the two of them were so close to the rest of the Glee cast. Michelle, in a conversation with Ellen DeGeneres, explained her feelings about the situation, in which she said that there is an empowerment that comes with grief. And although it's very hard to find it, at some point you will find it, and you can either choose to fall or rise.
You can choose to sort of fall from this, or you can choose to rise.
And she was definitely trying to rise from it. That's a very touching way of describing a feeling that many people struggle to understand and can't quite cope with. She even got a tattoo that says Finn and keeps his memory alive with posts and tributes each and every year since his death. Alan Rickman was a very prominent English actor who had excelled in multiple roles throughout his acting career, but most notably known around the world as Professor Severus Snape in the Harry Potter films. Fans had a love-hate relationship with the character, as he's considered shady and even evil, but it turns out that he does have the capacity for love and protecting the people he cares about, which Rickman masterfully portrayed throughout the movies.
You have your mother's eyes.
It was absolutely horrible when the news broke of his death in 2016, but his passing very significantly affected his co-star Daniel Radcliffe, who of course played Harry Potter. The two worked closely on set, and Radcliffe was very young when the first movie was filmed, so really he grew up in the years that the films were made, always looking up to Rickman. He had the most touching thing to say about the very kind, very gracious Alan Rickman, which was that Rickman was one of the first adults on set of the movies to treat Radcliffe like a peer rather than as a child.
Lazy, arrogant.
Don't say a word against my father.
Weak.
I'm not weak.
Then prove it. Control your emotions.
He also said he wouldn't be the actor he is today without Rickman's support and guidance. Clearly, there was a lot of mutual respect between the two, and because of that, Radcliffe took Rickman's death pretty hard. Fast and Furious co-stars Paul Walker and Vin Diesel were extremely good friends in real life. So when Paul Walker suddenly died in a car crash, Vin Diesel was absolutely heartbroken.
Thank you for honoring that angel, my brother Paul Walker.
He visited Walker's mom, and upon hugging her, she said, "I am so sorry." And he said, "You're sorry? You're the mother who just lost her son." And she says, "Yes, but you lost your other half." Friends, this sheds some light on just how close the two were, and losing his best friend could not have been easy. While filming, Diesel found it difficult to even get through certain scenes because he just couldn't believe Walker wasn't on set with him, and he had to take frequent breaks to collect himself. The cast and crew paid a beautiful homage to Walker throughout production, though, and made sure to keep his memory alive through the film. Well, friends, it's never easy for fans when an entertainer they absolutely love passes away, but even harder on the people who were close to them and worked with them. Tell us, do you know of other actors who never quite recovered after losing a co-star? Leave us a comment below. As usual, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as we bring you more juicy info, gossip, and speculation about the shows and stars you know and love. Until next time!